Alright, hey everyone, Wanderbot here, and welcome back to some more Hardspace Shipbreaker. Let's see if it actually remembered that I grabbed things. Yes! I have my tethers. We're good. Alright, start a shift. Let's see if we can assign ship, because I like ripping those apart. There it is. Right from the get-go. Ooh! Ooh! Hazard level 3, tons of MP, a lot of money. Let's do this. Boy, would I only have to, like, rip apart 100 of those to pay off my debt? I mean, that's a lot, but still, it's not bad.
It is my distinct honor and privilege to introduce you to the rest of the crew in our sector. Sound off, everyone.
Hey, Rook. Name's Liz. I was the worm until you showed up, so thank you. Now I get to do the hazing. What are you talking about? We don't do that. Welcome aboard. Don't listen to her. I'm Dee Dee.
Oh, Nina. Hey,
Kai! Your mic's still messed up.
How about now?
Better.
Oh, hey, I'm Kaido. Kai.
Mic's still busted, huh?
Oh, yeah, still waiting on the wreck to get approved.
Heaven forbid they give us functional gear.
I'm sure they're working on it as fast as they can. Cutter, I added you to the sector comms channel. It can get lonely out here. Helps to check in with each other from time to time. All right, enough chin wagging. Let's get back to it. Weaver out.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Later, Rook.
You know, it'd actually be really neat if you could give them a call and, like, chat. I know it would be more work. I know it would be way more voice acting budget, but I think it would be really cool if, like, Rook actually had things to say and had a distinct personality. That you don't necessarily need to be privy to. I'm just gonna refill on oxygen while I'm here. Because fuel does not get recharged between, let's see.
Fuel levels restored.
Yeah, fuel doesn't get recharged per between days. I figured as much, but I don't know. I forgot how to tether. Oh well. I'll try and remember. It's one of the things that gets tutorialized. Is it right click? It might be. Or no. You know, I guess I should probably look this up. Options, controls, key mapping, grapple, place tethers.
Credit applied.
G? Oh. I see. There we go. Okay. So it's just right click while I've got the grapple gun out. I just can't already be holding on to something. That's fair and easy. I don't know, I've forgotten. You know how many video games I play in a given year? Oof. It's too much. I love it, but it is often too much. Alright, so I guess I should do the thing that I keep forgetting to do whenever I load this up, which is figure out where the entrance to this thing is and actually, let's see, figure out where the entrance is and depressurize it. Or I'm lucky. Oh, you know what? Maybe these models actually come pre-depressurized. I think that's the case. I think pressure comes later. Because it's actually kind of, you know, it's the next hazard level up. Works for me in that case. I mean, I know how to deal with it. Okay. And yeah, let's actually remember to deposit those consoles, because they're apparently worth a lot of money.
Applying credit.
They're worth 120,000. Like, I'm honestly a little agog that they cost so much, but it actually makes a lot of sense. You want it to cost a lot, because players are going to forget about it often. Oh, right. That was the thing that I was going to do. Sound effects. I turned it down to 50%. Let's try 33. I don't mind the sound effects in this game, but they're loud. I want to listen to the music.
Deposited. Applying credit to account.
Okay, so let's see about this one. Well, an easiest answer is... Ooh. Whenever it doesn't go the way you think it's gonna go, I'm always afraid that I'm going to do just like gobs of damage to something. Let's see. Nope. Bridge isn't quite loose yet. Yeah, if I can pop the front off this sucker. 5,000, 20,000. Perfect. I think I'm gonna have to use tethers to get it off, though. Let's see. Do I want to take off the structure? Because, yeah, if I can pop the front off, that might give us just enough space. Just enough weight that I can remove it cleanly on my own. I don't mind using tethers, and in this case I probably should. They're cheap enough to replace, and I can get an infinite amount. Let's see. Yeah, let's do that. I can try using the cutter, but doesn't seem worth it to me. Gosh, I love this music. It's probably, honestly, like, the gameplay on this is solid. Incredibly good, even. This soundtrack might be worth it on its own. Like,
Object accepted for processing.
I have absolutely loaded this game up in the past. Nah, no, don't have enough. I have loaded this game up in the past purely with the express purpose of listening to the soundtrack. Looks like they've added more songs too, which is kind of nice. Okay. Probably an easier way to get some of these, but that's okay. You know what? I'm gonna rip this off before I forget.
Salvage secured. Account credit
Looks like
applied.
I'm moving. I just wanted to not be moving too much on its own. Because, yeah, if this flies away on me, I'm in trouble. There we go. Pop this off. Oh.
Warning.
Random light in there.
Oxygen low. Note that salvage secured. Can be reduced. Applying credit. Breathing practices.
Can be reduced with good breathing practices. Excuse me, are you saying that I'm wasting air by breathing inefficiently?
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
Like, I know there are some people that can kind of get by,
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
but that ain't the same. Okay.
Warning. Critical
There we go.
oxygen levels detected.
That is actually pretty bad.
Consult the LYNX employee handbook on how to maximize your blood oxygen saturation.
Ooh. I love the fact that the
Oxygen level. Processor deposit accepted. Credits awarded.
let's see, I think we're good. That one's still going in perfect, and the other ones I tossed are still moving. I think the rest is good too. Okay. But for a second something exploded and I got worried. But no, looks like I'm good. Alright. Let's see, what was I going to say? Okay. I probably should have looked into disconnecting any power here. And that's just nanocarbon. Oh, power junction box. That's the thing I think I gotta remove to get the rest of this to not zap the shit out of me.
Salvage deposit secured.
Nope. Looks like there's still enough residual charge and everything. I don't know. What the? Bunny character D. Bunny. Popular children's toy. Contains real bones. Killer of Carbonog. You know what? I was not expecting to see a Monty Python reference in here, but I'm not disappointed that I did.
Applying credit to account.
Ooh. Alright.
Salvage
Let's see if I
registered.
can remove one of these seats without breaking anything. Alright, looks like we're good. Yeah, this one is... Now it's just picking out all the pieces. Kind of like, oh gosh, what was that old children's... I guess it's a board game? It's a board game enough. Operation, there we go. Where you have to kind of like smoothly remove the bits. Luckily you don't take too much damage for bashing pieces into each other, but if you hit something explosive or electrical, then it gets a bit dicey. Which, really, I should probably mess around with that some in sandbox mode. It's actually really fun to get shit to explode. And it's nice when it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg.
Secured. Applying credit.
There we go.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
Now, let's just toss off the rest of these computers. I still feel like this is a really, really terrible system for removing electronics. I don't know about you guys, but like, if I want to take apart a computer, for example, I gotta get in there with a screwdriver. Alright. Can't see anything else of any immediate merit in there. Just hope it doesn't end up in the processor, but it looks like we're good. Perfect. Oh boy, that's a lot of computers. Oh. Oh, there was a door in there. Yeah, I mean, if it was just a door.
Credits deposited.
There we go. Pull everything out. Food package. Still feel like you should be able to just go snack. Should be like me hungry and just eat space food. I don't know how. Considering, you know, don't take your helmet off.
Transferring credit.
But I would love it if there was like a Monch animation. Unless it was fatal. You know, it's just there in case you feel really stupid. Or maybe not real stupid, but you know, every once in a while when I'm playing a game, there's definitely that feeling of like, man, I just want to do this incredibly stupid thing. Consequences be damned. Like, launching yourself off of cliffs in games like Skyrim or something. That shit's just fun. Are these loose? No. Is it because of the cable junctions? I don't think so. I guess let's start by popping these off. Wherever there's a cut point, I might as well cut. And then we'll figure out the rest. They really did buff up the soundtrack, and it really shows. I love it. The heck is... Where's the enemy gate? There it is.
Salvage deposit registered.
Ah, it's a shame.
Account credited.
I haven't heard anything from Orson Scott Card in a while, and that's probably for the best. Alright, I can't do the charge shots yet. I don't think the man's necessarily a monster like some people, but I know some of his opinions... Wait, oh, there it is. Like, I know he definitely had some dodgier opinions for a while on, like, LGBTQ. And it's kind of a shame, because I rather liked some of his works at the time. So whenever I reference the enemy gate is down, I always have that kind of pang of just like, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I need to find some more,
Oxygen levels
I don't know, some more inclusive sci-fi stuff to reference instead. It's just that line was so perfect at the time. Still remains probably one of the more iconic sci-fi lines I can even think of. I don't know. For those of you watching this video, got any sci-fi books to recommend? Part of the reason why I'm on this topic line of thought, last night I was watching I guess Love, Death, and Robots, which, and realistically, I should probably cancel my Netflix at some point as well. Well, it's not even my Netflix. My in-laws, so I don't even need to worry about that. I guess I'm just waiting for them to kick us off, is the real answer. What was I gonna say on this? Anyway, so I was watching Love, Death, and Robots, the 3rd season, which was not great. It wasn't terrible, but none of them really captured me in the same way as, like, some of the ones from the 1st season. 2nd season had, like, 1 or 2 that were decent, but I mostly found it to be just kind of dour. Okay. Am I beefy enough to move this just slightly? The answer is no. But you know what I can move? I can move the airlock, which is disconnected. I think I might want to leave the airlock just kind of here-ish, in case I need a battering ram for any reason. This is looking better though, because I have access to a fair bit. So let's remove the power cell. Anything that is vaguely electrical needs to be removed, because shit gets sparky, I start dying. I was gonna say. Anyway, it was depressing as shit. That's been kind of the standard for Love, Death, and Robots. But I do really appreciate the, hey, you know what, let's just toss this in the barge before I forget. Yeah, Love, Death, and Robots has always been kind of just dour and sad in a way that, like, I don't really enjoy. If my mother said I'm a sensitive person, I very much agree with that, though. I don't know, it stings a little bit for somebody to call you sensitive, even if it's true. I think that's mostly societal. Is this? Okay, no, this is also loose, so I should be able to just toss it right in. We do have the lights. Well, might as well just rip them off as it goes.
Salvage accepted. Credit applied.
There we go. But so, you know, I don't really like horror movies for much the same reason as a lot of sci-fi stuff, because it's just not happy. You know, if you're gonna give me horror, it better be, like, fun somehow, which is very rare. I'm thinking of, like, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Was it? I think it was Tucker and Dale versus Evil or something to that extent. Like, that movie was gruesome but kind of funny.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Lost 15,000 on electrical cables. I don't think I can do much with that, to be honest. Because I have no idea how I'd remove the electrical cables. Anyway, you know what? I've got 13 tethers and they're cheap as shit. So let's just use them and save myself the time. Oh, this panel's still connected.
Processing valuable deposit. Credits transferred.
There we go. But yeah, do you guys got any suggestions for good, like, sci-fi that isn't just depressing? Because I'm not talking like the most generic stuff. I'm looking for, like, weird and interesting and kind of fun, if possible. And also, like, ideally not from authors that everybody knows about. You know, whenever I ask for book suggestions, I always get like, well, have you read, like, oh, jeez. You know, Brandon Sanderson. The answer is, yup. Patrick Rothfuss. Yup. And then the recommendations kind of dry up pretty quick, because I don't think a lot of people go out of their way to, like, discover new authors. I think that's a bit of a shame that, you know, there's probably some really good authors out there that most of us have never heard of just because you know, it's kind of hard to step outside of comfort zones. And I think for me, discoverability is rough with books. You know, it's usually word of mouth recommendations. And I think that can actually be quite valuable, but it's weird, you know, as...
Oxygen reserves are dropping below statistically profitable levels.
Statistically profitable. Oof. But so, one of the things I liked about living in Portland was that the local bookstore had recommendations.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Nah, I've still got plenty of tethers. They had recommendations next to, like, not every book, but like every shelf was just lined with recommendations instead of price tags, saying like, hey, we really like this sci-fi book and here's why. Or, you know, we really like this author because of their previous work and, you know, give their new book a shot, or stuff like that. And it was actually really charming to be there and, like, looking at the books, because there was active curation going on, which is something doesn't even really happen in libraries for me, and I find that to be kind of disappointing. If I had more free time, I think I'd actually love to get into book reviews and book clubs and stuff, kind of on my own. And it's something that I really want to do, just as kind of like a...
Transferring credits.
Just as kind of a casual thing, if only I had more time. Because yeah, I do more or less exactly what I'm asking for a living, but for indie games and some non-indie games. Like, I don't know necessarily if I would call anything by... well, no. There's a number of Focus Home products that I would call indie. Curse of the Dead Gods is probably the one I can think of the most. I think the studio on that was not necessarily that small. What was the other game they had made? It made something else that I liked, but I have now since forgotten. I'd have to go back. Oh, they're the people that made the Space Run games, I think.
Salvage deposit accepted.
And then they just were like, hey, what if we made a Souls-like roguelike? And it's like, alright, cool. Anywho. Is this all... That's all separate. And you can even see it's color-coded for the furnace. Okay, let's get that out before that just goes along for the ride.
Processing valuable object.
I think the rest of this is good. And unless I'm mistaken, we can just chuck this right in. Thruster caps processor. Yep, easy peasy. That was slick. Only immediate problem is a lot faster. Which means I guess I'm gonna have to do another ship. I'm not against it. I just am trying to be as efficient as possible with my YouTube videos. Oh no, that's just one of the... Oh, what are these things called again? They're freaking heavy, I know that much.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited. Material accepted. Credits assigned.
Oh, there was a door console in there. What am I missing? Oh. No, it's just processing it. That's the answer. Oh.
Salvage goals fully completed. Rewards assigned.
Looks like we're good. Go back. I guess I'm gonna just buy my fuel beforehand. This shit's so cheap. I'll just kind of buy whatever. There we go. But yeah, I wish I had a little bit more time, because it would be really fun to get into, like, book reviews and stuff, talking about, like, hey, I read this book and it was really good. There's also some worry about, like, copyright. You know, with video games, there's kind of that implicit, like, symbiosis.
Hello, Shipbreaker. You have one incoming transmission waiting.
Hey, Rook. You ever think about starting your own business out there? You know, Be your own boss? I swear, one day, I'll get a decent belt runner and make my own money. Maybe bring my old man along to help sniff out the good rock. My dream is to tinker with ship designs. Maybe build some machinery to help with heavy-duty mining. Make it safer. If we ever both get out of here, I'd hire you in a heartbeat. If you don't end up coming with me, I hope you get to make your own way out there. Definitely ping me if you do. Lou out.
I do appreciate all the extra story elements in the character dialogue. It reminds me of Citizen Sleeper.
9346-52. LYNX would like to share the following inspirational message. Make the most of your shift by fanning the tiny sparks of effort into flames of profitability.
You know, I just realized if that took me just about 20 minutes, I might have actually been able to do that in one shift. Oh well. Bunny character D. Sender undisclosed. Bunny character D is a popular children's video character. An anthropomorphic pink rabbit who is one of dozens of characters introduced as part of the Panterran Media Conglomerate's Fun Friend Animals pilot program. The program featured a wide range of stylized animal-based characters, and heavy psychological analysis was used to determine which of these characters was most popular. 1 second. Despite appearing very similar to bunny characters A, B, C, E, and G, bunny character D was determined to be the most popular among children aged 4 to 12. Interestingly, bunny character F, while being the most or the least popular within this group, reportedly due to disturbing facial features, proved most popular among those aged 25 to 40, and is featured in a series of videos and games for adults. Several of the program's characters, most notably Moose character, Pigeon characters A to C, and Salmon character, were determined to be unpopular because they're based on animals that had been extinct for over 100 years. Pigeons extinct? I call bull on that. In their latest video series, Bunny Does the Right Thing, bunny character D opens an ice cream shop in New York. However, after blight rats infest the shop, the health administration forces the shop to close. Many of bunny character D's friends encourage them to apply for government small business assistance to help them get a new shop. However, a wise government official helps bunny character D understand that the best thing they can do is not apply, as this would unnecessarily draw valuable finances away from the government that could be used for the betterment of society elsewhere. The moral of this story is to trust in market forces and in government to make the best decisions for everyone. And we're up to hazard clearance 4. And now we can actually... Wait, these are new. These got introduced in, I think, the last update of Early Access, which I didn't play, which is the Atlas class ships. I don't know how to rip these apart. Well, that'll be fun. Okay, no, it's going to be a lot more than 100? It'd be 1,000 of those, not 100 of those. Right? No. No. Yes? Because that was 8 million. That'd be here. Yeah, no, actually would have only been about 100 more ships in that. Nice. Well, anyway, equipment room. Let's see if I've unlocked anything new. I'm rank 4? 4 or 5. Equipment. Do we get anything new? Yes. So we've got that. Costs 18 LT. I'll take it. Grapple. So we can increase the range. Tether amount, 30. Oh, big. I don't really care too much about the durability drain at the moment. Okay, better thrusters. Scanner. We do have this, but I can't do it. Helmet. Better oxygen capacity. Sure. I love the fact that we seem to be leveling up much, much faster. Okay. And I'm just going to repair a couple of things. Because, yeah, we have so many repair kits, and they're so cheap that I might as well just use them. Okay, so we've got an Odin class, another science... Oh, wait, no, this is the one I was dealing with. Mackerel, 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 mackerel. Come on. Oh. Well, you know what? We'll leave the Atlas class for the next one. Do we want to go for another one of these? No, no. Okay, so we've got 11 million for this one? Oh, baby, hell yeah. Yeah, we'll get into Atlas class next. This time, it's time for cut and science and nothing more. Oh, no, I don't know. I forgot to get rid of the glass again. Oh well. Maybe I'll remember this time around. We'll see. For now, I'm just gonna rip this through. But I don't know. I wish YouTube and social media and whatnot was a little bit more supportive of what I do, but for other mediums and genre, which is weird to say because, like, on a fundamental level, you see this all the time. You know, there's social media influencers trying to get free stuff at restaurants and whatnot. But it only feels like, video games have kind of that air of that impartial air, or at least kind of the more wholesome air, and I don't necessarily know why. Maybe it's just because it's all grassroots. Okay, oh, it's perfect. I know somebody that is an amateur food reviewer, which I actually think is really cool, but I have no idea how much of a market there is for that kind of thing normally. Outside of... well, I don't know. You know, outside of the actual review sites like Yelp, for example. And so there was a... we were talking about it, and they get invited to parties, effectively. Where these restaurants will say, like, hey, you know, check out our... you know, check out our new food line or something to that extent. And there's kind of that implicit... oh, there we go. I think the tethers were just messing it up. Can I move these? I can't tell. It should be in there. Is it? Yeah, okay. It looks like it's in there. I'm just having doubts. You know, whether or not I actually managed to get it in the barge or not. It used to lock them in place. It'd be nice if there was almost like a check mark or something saying like, yeah, you're good. But alas, whatever, it doesn't matter that much. But maybe food reviewers actually have a little bit more... well, no, I guess they must. Because you definitely had like... I definitely remember watching travel, like travel consultants and reviewers and whatnot. I mean, Anthony Bourdain, rest in peace. I'm pretty sure he's passed away at this point, unless I'm mixing him up with some other super famous guy. But if I remember right, he was like a big food reviewer and a couple others. Guy Fieri might also kind of sort of be, but it's very much like celebrity driven, and only the most popular really seem to have much of a platform. But maybe it just, I'm not running in that circle? I don't know. Clearly I need to broaden my horizons some more, is the real answer. But, you know, in terms of like book reviews, I'd love to get into that sort of thing just because I love reading. Reading is like easily one of my favorite pastimes. Or at least it used to be. I think I cooled on it a little bit because I found video games tended to tell the stories I liked better. Whereas books tended to be a little bit more hit and miss and incredibly sad. Not always, but books just seem to have this like air of grimness. Whereas like video games, you can't afford to be sad or depressing for too long, because more often than not, players will just like peace out and not come back, and so there's a little bit more of a need to cater to, I'd say a wider audience, but, you know, remain fun. And this isn't entirely true. You know, there are quite a number of famous video games at this point that are actually, like, legitimately horrifically sad. Like, Soma is one I can think of for sure. That is not a fun place to be. Okay, it's separated out just enough. Oh, no, I'm not... Well, who knows?
Deposit accepted. Credits awarded.
Here's a question. Oh, it's unpowered. But you, power junction box.
Salvage deposit confirmed. Applying credit.
There we go. I got a little too close for me. For comfort, frankly. Alright. Let's see. How do we do this?
Account credit applied.
Well, easy answer is... Can I just jam myself in here? The answer is yes, actually. I know there's a button that lets you, like, put your hand on things and actually move it, but... I never use it. Even when I know what it is. So I'm not going to think too hard on it, one way or another. There we go. And who knows, maybe if I got into book reviewing, it actually would work. And people would like that sort of thing. It's just a matter of, like, time and motivation and some other stuff. I'm very vulnerable to... I'm gonna say demotivation, but I think the real answer is I'm very vulnerable to being tired. Okay. Is this worth it? It's a lot of glass.
Oxygen reserves are low.
I don't think so. Not yet. Probably not ever. I think the glass will always just be one of the things that I waste. Just because it's such a pain to remove it.
Welcome to Vendatron 9000.
There we go.
Levels stabilizing.
But so, you know, on the topic of being sensitive, today was allergies. You know, allergies have been hitting me hard. I didn't roll out of bed until 11:30, and that was because lunch was soon. And it would have been really weird for my entire family to be eating lunch while I'm just like semi-catatonic in bed being like, allergies. I've taken an antihistamine and it actually does seem to be helping, but I'm still feeling pretty trash. I just at least feel sentient. Oftentimes when I've got like a headache or a migraine even, I am non-sentient and barely verbal. Streaming helps because then it gives me topics and people to talk to, so I can just lean on that. Whereas if I'm not streaming and I'm just kind of sitting around doing nothing, I'm just like, what do I talk about? Let's get the power junction box first, just in case I bash it off on accident. There we go. But, you know, I'm also overheating, or if I get hungry, if, you know, I need to go to the bathroom or anything like that, all of a sudden my commentary just stinks. And so I've been trying to motivate myself to work on all these, like, bonus projects recently, but just, like, life doesn't want me to. You know, I get off work for the day, and not like I have shifts or anything. Then I'm just like, and I'm done.
Salvage registered. Transferring credits.
And I need to get back on the ball, because I'd love to review things. I'd equally love to write things. You know, write my own short stories and whatnot. Because I think that could be kind of a fun hobby. I've definitely tried it. I've written hundreds of pages of novel stuff in the last couple of years. None of them complete, though. I'm too flighty. It's difficult to focus on one story when I have too many I want to tell. And I find that to be hard to work around. Okay, is this... yeah, this entire side is empty. Got a couple of power cells in here that I can rip out.
Salvage accepted.
I think there was another one. Yeah, there it is. So what I really need to do is be far more efficient with my time. You know, instead of putzing and looking at the news or social media or something like that, I need to, you know, maybe do a brief look, but then get back to writing, get back to editing, get back to whatever. I guess I've been reasonably efficient with my time. I've just been spending my spare time playing Final Fantasy VI. Which I guess is equal parts inefficient until I actually start making video essays again. And then it becomes very efficient because all of these extra recorded games become useful, and it just sucks. Because there's just so many layers of things that you need to do the next thing. And that always is just, I don't know. I think I'm... I almost feel like I'm describing the early stages of a midlife crisis to people who might or might not understand that. I know this is definitely true. I saw one of my friends, Jonas, he was complaining about how he has trouble relaxing because it makes him feel guilty. You know, feels like he should be working on this or that instead, you know. Instead of watching this movie, you should be working on a video, streaming, you know, doing schoolwork, because he's going back to college for things. I think that's actually a really nasty side effects of possibly the internet hustle culture or anything. I know I'm definitely a contributing factor on this. Maybe not me specifically, but, you know, kind of... When I was younger, I was in a frat with a bunch of tech guys, and there was definitely... Ooh, that's still heavy. Why? Is the airlock separate? Here.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
No, it seems to be loose. There's just something heavy on the side. Okay. Maybe I didn't remove... Oh. Oops. Am I upside down? No, I'm not. Or, yes, I am. What the hell is so freaking heavy on this side? Unless it's just the whole airlock business? I don't know. Either way, let's move that out a little bit further so I actually have some room to look at what's going on. Make sure there's no power panels on this one. Okay. It might also just be all these power cells. Nope, they're 2 kilograms apiece, so I don't really know what's going on with that. But, all of these guys very much ascribe to hustle culture. If you're not working on a project, if you're not developing yourself, you're wasting your life, wasting your time. You know, gotta constantly be working, gotta constantly be hustling, gotta be doing whatever. Kind of, sort of. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of video games being played and a lot of YouTube videos mixed in and some other stuff. So, like, it was a very hypocritical mindset, often, where there was a lot of leisure. It just wasn't, as much as some people, nor was it, like, good leisure. Because there's... I don't want to go with the theory of good leisure versus bad leisure. Spending an hour on, like, Reddit is, I would argue, bad leisure, if only because oftentimes that website has turned into kind of a bad place, mentally and emotionally for people.
Deposit accepted for processing.
And to think I could have just ripped these doors off a while ago. Oh well.
Your oxygen reserves are low. Note that excess carbon dioxide can cause damage to LYNX equipment.
Yeah, fine. Let's see. But then I kind of internalized this mindset, and I think it was actually equal parts very valuable for me, but also incredibly damaging, because I internalized it, learned from it, used it rather well to grow my YouTube channel, but also poorly because it meant,
Valuable object accepted for processing.
like, I'm sure every one of you has heard the phrase, work smarter, not harder. And so oftentimes I would just go with work harder, not smarter.
Deposit accepted.
You know, just sink endless amounts of time into whatever project I'm doing. Because on some base level that was easier than actually putting time into working smart. You know, why learn anything new when you can just kind of do the same old over and over again? You know, I have functionally limitless time. Okay, I can't remove that normally, so I guess I gotta pop these off. And I think both are lightly correct. You know, not everything needs to be driven to maximum efficiency.
Salvage deposited. Applying credit to account.
There we go. Because that's kind of its own depths of madness. You know, sometimes it's fun to just play around, take it easy, not think about,
Salvage
you know,
secured.
how to make it
Account credit
perfect.
applied.
And then other times, you really want to be, like, banger good. I almost kind of wish you could actually change between OpenShift and not OpenShift seamlessly in this game now that I'm thinking about it.
Applying credit.
But from my perspective, from YouTube footage and whatnot, I'd rather just chill. Ticking clock is cool, though. Maybe I'll play it again at some point
Salvage accepted.
in that mode,
Credit
just to
applied.
rekindle it. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to play through the whole game that way. I guess is my problem. And with the smaller ships, it's not so bad, but once you start getting into the big ones, then you really start... Well, I guess you just have to be super sloppy.
Credit deposited.
No, you're not loose. God, I love the music in this game. There you go, that should work. Don't really care if it goes off kilter. There we go. But so, I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, maybe it was like 3 years ago. Oh, there's a computer terminal on one of those. Whoops! That's kind of expensive. Must have been attached to the floor and I didn't even notice. Oh well, I'll live. And I don't have to do these perfect. Okay. Oh, it's the reactor.
Applying credit.
Yeah, I didn't actually realize. That we had the reactor in this. Hmm. There we go. I should have ejected this, but I'm pretty sure it being unpowered means I can't. Okay. Let's just drag that down. A little inefficient,
Salvage secured.
but it's fine.
Credit applied.
God, I love the music when you pull the reactor. It's so, like, immediately dire.
Salvage secured.
Luckily, you have to do almost nothing to actually deal with that. Let's see. But so, X number of years ago when I was, yeah, I was still doing fairly well on a channel basis. Still am, for the most part. But it was, I don't know. I was doing really well at the time. And I saw a number of creators, bigger ones than I, at least on a subscriber level, you know, talking about how the algorithm is screwing them over and, you know, they were losing kind of some faith in how YouTube works. Let's see, I've still got 18 tethers. Yeah, I can... Let's just do that. I have put this thing through the ringer. Are these separate? No, they're still connected. I gotta find out... Oh, is there no... There's no disconnect point on these.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Okay. If I cut this... and this... These little seams aren't worth much. I'm pretty sure these are still connected. Okay, and there should be another one here. Okay. Wait. I think I can just use myself. Hard to tell. Looks like it's disconnected. I'm just gonna hope it is. There we go. But yeah, so I was thinking to myself when I saw these creators kind of bemoaning, you know, how the algorithm had changed and YouTube had changed and so on and so forth. And, you know, at the time, my solution was to make tons and tons of videos. And that kind of remained my solution for quite a while, and it still kind of is. I still put out 3 times as much as most YouTubers do, or a lot more than that. I don't see any other door bits, so I think we're good. But yeah, I was just sitting there thinking, you know, you just gotta put some more time in and so on and so forth. And now that I'm their age, I'm realizing that, like, no, actually, after a certain point, you just kind of have to say, like, I am working too hard and I need to, like, chill. I need to actually spend some time living and working on other things, especially if, you know, you have greater ambitions than just the same old, same old. And, you know, maybe it is worth mixing it up and giving into the midlife crisis a bit to find yourself properly. Because I think a lot of people kind of go through life without...
Thank you for your purchase. Have a nice day.
I was going to wait for that to finish up. Not that it really matters. I just want every last bit of money. Alright, looks like we're done. Perfect. But yeah, a lot of people just go into whatever their career is, whatever they do. And they don't really think about, like, who they are in the process. And then they wait like 15, 20 years and they're like, oh shit, this ain't me. And then you have to properly find yourself, especially now that you have money.
Hello,
or
Shipbreaker. You have 1 incoming transmission waiting.
Money, familial support, just a good environment to do things.
Howdy, Rook. So, this can be, an awkward subject, but you've probably noticed LYNX doesn't take great care of us. Up until maybe 100 years ago, workers like us would sometimes form these groups, called unions, and go toe-to-toe with the company. They'd argue for better wages, safer work, decent hours, that kind of thing. LYNX was actually part of getting rid of them, but some of us are trying to bring them back. I can tell you're a good person, and a hard worker. The company will use you up. It's just built that way. So I thought you might be interested in the Union News Group. There are new messages every couple of days. Read them, don't read them, trash them, whatever. Just keep it on the down low. The others don't know about it. Weaver and Dee are a bit too by the book. Kaido is just too anxious. Poor kid. But I wanted you to have the info. I was glad someone gave it to me when I was new. Okay, spiel over. See you in the yard, Rook. Flew out.
Interestingly enough, that bit of dialogue was actually, like, fairly early on? Or not fairly early on, fairly late.
Good morning, Shipbreaker. LYNX mandates a maximum of 8 hours of sleep. Any extra sleep time will be docked from the next pay cycle.
That's horrifying. Naps are a human right. We now have access to the Atlas Nomad. We will have to see how to rip one of those apart. Yeah, we're progressing hella fast now. That was, like I said, one of my biggest complaints about the early access versions for this game. And now it seems like you just practically speed straight through, which feels good. Okay, so I got some messages I should probably read. Group undisclosed, sender undisclosed, unverified welcome. For authorized members only. Thank you for signing up for the Salvage Workers Unite newsletter. We are happy you're here. As our group grows, so does our ability to affect positive change on all shipbreakers. For all shipbreakers. As a reminder, the activities of this group are only for authorized members. Please respect the mission and the privacy of your fellow members, and do not share outside the group. We wish to improve work conditions and ensure that the voices of the shipbreakers are heard and respected. We intend to coordinate with the Stellar Commission to start negotiations with the company around policy changes. Here are the key demands we intend to bring forward. Cancel the debt. The dangerous work of a shipbreaker should not come with crippling debt owed to the company that profits off that work. We demand the debt be cancelled immediately. Workplace safety. While shipbreaking is a dangerous task, there are unnecessary risks involved due to company policies or quotas. We demand improvements that would greatly decrease the risk of injury or death. 3. Investigate contract clauses. We demand the shipbreaker contract be audited by the Stellar Commission to ensure human rights are honored, in particular the clauses around ownership of the genetic sequencing of shipbreakers. Thank you again for joining us. Solidarity is strength, and we are on a path to improve all of our lives. We also have... Oh no, I have to go back to read the rest. Hey again, Rook. Just wanted to say I'm impressed how quick you are at picking things up. Not sure what kind of work you've done before, but you're a natural cutter. Probably noticed LYNX doesn't exactly take great care of us. I don't blame them. They don't really have a reason to. Up until 100 years ago, workers like us would make groups called unions. Fight for better wages, safer work, decent hours, that kind of thing. Basically, balance things so people don't just get exploited to hell. LYNX was actually key to getting rid of all of that. Okay, wait, did she just say all this? No, it's slightly different. But there's a group of shipbreakers now trying to bring back the idea of a union. Change things for the better. Did you know LYNX keeps your DNA even if you leave the job? Or that those hull panels you get 10 credits for are resold for 1,000 apiece? That's the kind of thing these folks want to change. Anyway, it's all hush-hush. LYNX stomps it out real quick. But I can see that you're a good person and a hard worker. I'll tell you now, they're going to use you up and you'll get nothing out of it. Nothing for it. I put you on a list for news from the group. Comes in every couple of days. Read them, don't read them, trash them, whatever. Yeah, so it's almost the same as what she said earlier. Okay, structure mode. Certification. Okay, so this is just talking about the debt. Salvage goals. And LYNX kiosk, where we can buy things. Mostly tutorials. Okay, but at least they're all red at this point, so I don't have to worry any further. Alright, let's take a look. Workstation, equipment. Because it's time, maybe, to upgrade some stuff. Better cutter range? Tempting. Cooldown? Also tempting. Durability drain. Useful, but I think we want the scanner upgrade first. Let's see. Break is big. Grapple. Grapple strength is huge. What is this one? Charge, push, unlock. Now I'd rather just have basic strength. Being able to move things around is major. And we'll have to work our way up to the rest of these. But it's fine. For now, I think this is a great stopping point. So I will see you all in the next episode of Hardspace Shipbreaker. This is going to be a series of some variety. Just because I love it so much. It's one of those perfect games for me to hang out and just talk for a while about feelings and things. And I apologize if I don't fully finish my thoughts. There's a lot going on. But with all that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.